Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope everyone is doing well tonight because it is a very, very special time. We are joined by the Valkyrie, everybody. The Valkyrie, you know them, you love them. They're always in the chat. I am joined by both of them today, but most importantly, on this, the 227th episode of the Welcome to Asgard podcast, we are celebrating the wonderful, the beautiful, the Empress of the Universe, the Valkyrie, Tina. Happy birthday, Tina.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So if you've been watching for a while now, you would have seen Tina most recently on the Chosen of Valhalla talk. And because of just time constraints, I had to cut her off. I had to cut Tina off in the middle of what she was talking about. I felt so bad. And so I figured, hey, her birthday's coming up. It's a perfect time because I've been wanting to get the Valks on anyway. And so now I get to get them on, and Tina gets to share the things that she was not able to share then. But also, we all together as an Asgardian family get to celebrate her birthday. How has the birthday been going so far, Tina?
It's been great. It's kind of, when I first got up this morning, I did my affirmations and meditations and thanked the Lord for another year. And then I thought about last year, and it was like last year on my birthday, I was sitting on a beach in the British Virgin Islands. That was how I spent my breakfast with a couple of friends. And then that evening, we were all on the ship at Cagney's Steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And there were about 16 or 17 of us. And so I was looking at my pictures from last year and felt a little down, but then I felt good again and made dinner, and I'm sipping on some port, and I made cupcakes. Sharon, I don't know if Sharon's in the chat yet or not. Sharon sent me these meltable white chocolate.
Oh.
You know, you got the little chips, and she sent me like these little jars of sparkles and twinkles and stuff. And I made cupcakes, and I did a pork belly with the sides and had a nice Spanish wine.
I remember
with
you
that.
talking about those pork bellies.
Yes.
Sounded delicious.
So it turned out very well. So now I'm just sipping on some port that I didn't open at Christmas time. And here I am with you all.
Oh, yes, indeed. And again, I hope that you have a wonderful birthday. And I hope we have some fun tonight as well. And yeah, as you can see, I've taken the little the scrolling thing down because I don't really know how well I'm going to be able to follow the chat completely tonight. So again, apologies to any members or those that are going to be tagging with comments or questions. I'll do my best to try and get to as many of those as I can. But tonight is mostly going to be focused on Tina, the birthday girl. To help me with this, to help me in this process, we have a very special guest, and you know her. You love her. She's another one of the Valks as well. And she's a little nervous, but she has no reason to be because she is fantastic at everything she does. And that is, of course, my captain, my general, Steph. How's it going, Steph?
Hello?
You're on.
Welcome to the channel, Steph. I can't remember, to be honest. Is this the first time that you've ever been on?
I don't remember. I'm kind of thinking maybe yes.
Okay.
Eek.
I want to say there may have been a time like really early on when I had the Valkyries on. I can't remember for sure, though. I'm sure someone could go back to the archives because they're all still live on the channel somewhere. But I want to say it was at least once that y'all were on. But yeah.
We did, Steph, we did the interview with Odin on
But
Zoom.
he pre-recorded it. I didn't.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yes. It was a podcast. So I think it was for I think it was for my Patreon Subscribe Star members.
That's it.
And we did a podcast episode, and that was, I think, the only other time. Yeah.
That's it.
So Steph, how does it feel to be in front of the world right now?
Good. I guess. Who wants to talk to me? That's the whole thing.
I'm pretty sure that all 46 people watching right now would love to talk to you. Just like they would love to talk to Tina. Like they're like every single chat. I feel like it's like, when y'all gonna have them on? I can't wait to talk with Tina. I can't wait to talk with Steph.
Ask her questions, everyone.
But make sure they are of an appropriate nature.
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
family show, people. This is a family show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so again, happy birthday, Tina. This is just awesome. And I was just earlier today because Tina always sends us cards for Christmas. And so we still have the card that you sent us on our fridge. And so it always brings a smile to my face whenever I look at that card. So I was very excited to be able to get this show on the road tonight. But before diving into you and all things Tina, with a sprinkling of Steph on the side, of course. Let's say hello to some people in the chat first. So actually on DLive, I am on DLive. I tried to change some of the chat settings over there because I know I'm not going to be there the entire time. So again, all my DLive fam, if you're sticking over there, if anyone jumps in saying, hey, what's going on? That is what's going on. It's only for people who, I believe I have it open only to subscribers, and I'm assuming also to mods as well. So I see Captain Dean Heiss over there saying, hail Odin, I trust you and the fam are doing well this evening. And yes, they are. And Phonemo, who is one of my mods over there, who has the axe, because the mods over there get to axe all of the nonsense people. Thank you for being there, Phonemo. And again, sorry to the DLive fam, but I wanted to have an option for people to go to in case they did not want to stay anytime on YouTube. You can watch over on DLive instead, or of course on Periscope. And Captain Mr. Roy just jumped in too. Captain Mr. Roy, who is also one of my chosen of Valhalla as well. Hello to you, good sir. And Will Gentry also gets to swing that axe. And you shouldn't have to worry about anybody jumping in tonight, boys, because, as I said, it's subscribers only. And I think it's subscribers and mods. So it should be a pretty quiet night. In fact, I might just leave it like that for the future, because I know there's some followers over there that don't subscribe and I don't want to punish them. But man, oh man, it's nice just to have some regular everyday folks over there. So shout out to the DLive fam. We also got some people hanging out in YouTube world. What's going on? Andrew Hoyle. What's going on, Andrew Hoyle? Another one of my chosen. He is one of the UK brethren. And so it's definitely a little late over there. We got Pat S. says, I did not get a chance to sign Tina's card. Well, that's okay, because there's a care package that's going to be sent her way with tons of stuff. So do not worry. We will take care of Tina, as I take care of all the Valks on the channel, especially on their birthdays. Snort Poopus Cuber, what's going on? Welcome. 13th Warrior as well. Orange Chat Reviews says, I hear there's a birthday girl on the stream, and then he clears his throat. And so I will sing it for him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You survived 2020, and you'll survive this year too.
Yeah.
Yes, Orange Hat Reviews. Great change of lyrics there. And he says, happy birthday. Now eat some cake.
Oh, I'm so stuffed from dinner. I'm waiting to eat my cupcake. I made cupcakes.
Oh, I saw those cupcakes, and they look delightful. They look delicious. I can't wait. Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, as always. Pat S. says, let's turn this mother out. Yes, that's right. Pat S. 13th Warrior says, I made a birthday call to a friend in California today. His was yesterday. He missed my call last night. This one I can do in real time. Happy birthday, Tina. There you go, from 13th Warrior.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. We also got Laura waiting for Nerdrotic, another one of the chosen, saying, woohoo!
Hey, Laura.
Happy birthday, Tina! With a bunch of emojis saying and expressing the joy and celebration. So thank you very much. Golden Ration in the chat as well. Griffin Turbo here also. Ballin the Hobbit saying, happy birthday, Tina. Yeah. Yeah. Laura waited for Nerdrotic says, I'm sure everybody has heard by now how good the pilot for the CW's new Superman show was. If you like the lead actor, check out Teen Wolf. It was like Vampire Diaries, but with werewolves. Well, I'm sure that I know that both people on the panel right now, that both Tina and Steph have a lot of opinions on a lot of those things, I would say.
I think I saw the version with Michael J. Fox. That was it.
Oh, I meant about Superman in general and CW in general.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
I gotta get going first, and then once I build up to it, then then the time will come.
Yes.
Your Muslim uncle, also member on the channel. Glad to see you here. We got, of course, Tina B and Stephanie B. Don't hang out too much in that chat, ladies. Try and sit back and relax. Enjoy
There
the
you
evening.
go.
Yeah. Cobra Viper 999. What is going on? And we were talking about it earlier because there is a new picture there, and I guess I need some confirmation. Are you a woman, Cobra Viper? I always just assumed you were a dude. And if I've been making that mistake, I apologize. Because I think there's a couple people who I call man and dude. And obviously I say that in general for everybody, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's some saying, I'm actually a woman. You're welcome for that. Mr. Roy, what's going on? He's also over on YouTube. Roger Haynes dropping the Canadian thumbs up super sticker. Thank you for being here. Bruce in the chat saying happy birthday to Tina. Saying, it's your birthday. So happy birthday to you. Darn right. I hear Steph singing in the background.
I hear her singing.
I heard her. I hear her singing. She's like backing away saying, don't hear me, no. We hear you, though. It's all good. Rosie G12 says, hail Odin. What's going on? Marcus Cato in the chat as well. Let us see. Angry Mango here early for once. What's going on, Angry Mango? Titan in the chat. Rusty Shackleford here as well. Who else we got hanging out? CWD Trixie in the chat too. We got Eldritch Dragoon. What's going on, Eldritch? Hanging out as well. Rhaegar Targaryen as well. Also, it says, Orange Eye Reviews, I am with my aunt for the next 2 months. She also says, happy birthday, Tina. Well, there you go. From Aunt Orange Hat. You got a happy birthday.
Aw.
Also, Freya, by the way, Freya also wanted me to extend a happy birthday to you as well.
Oh, well, thank you. Tell her thanks.
I of course will. Nathan Slay says, I thought you said that Tina's birthday was on Tuesday. No, I said that next time would be the birthday stream, which is today. Nathan Slay not paying attention.
Just happened to work out that my birthday and the stream were on the same day.
It worked out perfectly, indeed. Inferior says, hail Odin, hail mods, hail chat, happy year advancement day. To Tina. Happy year advancement day. We also have the Hunka Chunka Funky Monkey in here. Dark Shadow Logan in here as well. HyperNext 13. Never forget your... Pat S just put, never forget your first time.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that's... I'm sure there was some context needed there.
Yeah, it was in reference to Stephanie what we were trying to remember had we done a show with you before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Out of context means something very, very different. Hypernet put at Odin's answer cake. Yes. Man, if I could have like digital cake, that'd be amazing. Put down my sesame cake. Stop eating my sesame cake. And JKDBuck76 is here as well. General Wingster says, excuse me, identify as a duddy or as a duty pooty. Thank you. Happy birthday, Tina. Okay, so I'm assuming General Wingster's pronouns are duty and pooty. So, which is great to know, of course. Twirly Wolf says, birthday of happiness to Tina. Withering Liberal as well. Withering Liberal, though, says Stephanie B, happy birthday. It is Tina B's birthday. It is Tina's birthday. Brian Barth is here. Iron Spider also says happy birthday to Tina. All the happy birthdays. Optimus Popeye in the chat. Slash of Neons. And I think I've pretty much caught up with everyone. So, Tina, let's get to you. How has this year been for you? It's another year gone by. How's it been?
Frustrating, like it has been for everybody. And I think the main thing is just this, with me loving to travel and do cruises, this whole, oh yeah, go ahead and book a cruise. Oh, well, that one's canceled. Oh, let's book a cruise again. Oh, well, it's canceled because nobody can get off their behind. So now they're kind of dancing around about the Alaska cruise, because originally Canada has shut down its ports for the next year.
Yeah.
And because of this outdated law, U.S. law, any ship that flies under a foreign flag, which most cruise lines do, they have to make a stop in a quote unquote foreign port. A foreign port for the Alaska cruise would be Victoria, British Columbia. Okay, so ports are closed. Okay, now these idiots in Congress, excuse me, idiots for comparing you to the ones in Congress.
Yeah.
They're all coming up with the same idea I came up with several months ago. I said, why don't they just let us stop at the port? Nobody gets off the ship. We've qualified and passed the law. We head back to Seattle. Now that's what they're coming up with. And I'm like, yeah, I should sue because that was my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, Alaska's off. I'm done. I'm thinking to next year, next September, 2022, Greece. I'm learning Greek. I got a Greek guidebook. I'm visualizing Greece in my head. I'm not thinking about Alaska anymore. Bruce, I've been to Victoria. I went there years ago with some friends, and it is so beautiful. I love it. It's very European feeling, whereas Vancouver is more modern. Everybody in the chat, thank you for your birthday wishes. Thanks. So that's where I'm kind of at right now, but I'm one of those people that I just kind of tend to bounce back and I go with the flow. And I think that comes from working in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go out on the scene, you got everything in your head, what you're going to do. And then a storm comes up or a tornado hits and it's like, okay, what do we do now? We've got to save the evidence. So you kind of learn how to jump around and your mind jumps.
Mm-hmm.
And I just learned how to be flexible. So that's how 2020 has been for me, just being flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I've read a lot, watched movies, kept up with my friends like Stephanie, and still don't know if Sharon's in the chat, but I kept up with my friends. I've got you all, and I wake up every day and I'm not bored. And I think that's the most important thing. People kept saying, when you retire, just don't get bored. I haven't been bored yet. 5 years down, I'm still not bored. So
that's awesome.
That's about it. Yeah. And like I said, the birthday has been, compared to what I had last year, this year it's still been a good day, And I forgot what my affirmation was. And then I saw a post on Pinterest about if you wake up and God has given you another year, remember, devote that year to him.
Amen.
And that's what I keep trying to do. And I know I fall short, but I'm still trying to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. No, and it looks like you still have a lot of things to look forward to as well, right? This Greece cruise sounds like a blast. I mean, there's just so much history. As someone that studied theology, I mean, Greece is like one of the central points of just Christianity in general, right? There's just so many places there.
Yes.
And not to mention, of course, it was a very fun throwback to a 1950s musical. So, I mean, you got so much stuff going on with Greece, it's just, it's fantastic.
Well, Sharon and her husband are going because that's always been a bucket list trip for her.
Yeah.
And my friend that is organizing this, the travel agent, I feel so bad for her because with all the cancellations and stuff, she told me yesterday, she said, as far as her income in travel, it's zero for this year. Because all she's done is cancel, and rebook. So, and I feel bad for her.
Well, one thing to make you feel better is that Sharon is now in the chat. And Sharon Ferguson says, hi. Tina, happy birthday.
Oh, she is we have been friends for 15 years. We met in a writers group and then started emailing each other outside of the group and realized we had so much in common. And she's such a dear friend. Stephanie too, such dear friends.
Wow. Since 2005, she says.
Yep. So, and then
going on 16 years.
going on 16 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I ran across one of our old emails when I was going through some of my Gmail account. And I said, oh my God, that's one of the first emails we sent each other. So thank you, Aiden. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, we're going to fly into Athens a few days before. And I'm already like, I bought a laminated map that I'm going to put up.
Oh,
I
nice.
got markers, and that way I can see these different neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cruise, let's see. We're going to Turkey, Odysee, Turkey, where Ephesus is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they said, like, we've got 2 excursions that are included. And they said there's one that's a little bit extra. We can go visit the house where the Virgin Mary spent her last years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So that's something extra. But let's see. Yeah, Odysee, Turkey, Mykonos, Santorini, Rhodes.
What's cool too about Ephesus is that it's one of those things where I think it's just so surreal when you're in certain locations, because like, to me, if I'm ever blessed enough to be able to go there, I would be reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Ephesians, just to be like,
yes,
this is the place he was writing to. Like, this is the place that he visited and established and moved on and was dealing with these. Like, again, it's just like that kind of surreal moment where you're like, so much history has happened in this location.
I'm just like, I haven't been this excited since my Panama Canal cruise back in 2018. So I wish I could get Stephanie to go. So
I think we can work on that.
Let's work on it.
Yeah.
Start a GoFundMe.
We got her this far. We can just get her a little bit further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, there are some early questions happening already for both of you. And so let's start off with the birthday girl. Sasha Neon says, a very important question, ladies. And so, Tina, candy corn or Tim Tams?
Tim Tams.
Oh, Tim Tams.
You had to think about that one a little.
Corn. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you are team candy corn in a lot of ways, though.
Yeah, I am.
Outside. Okay.
Once he threw Tim Tams into the mix, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I remember it was because it was Mr. Peabody who was the first one that introduced me, I think, to Tim Tams. And he actually sent me Tim Tams all the way from Australia. No.
Right.
Maybe he did. I know that it was either he sent them from Australia in one of his packages, or because I know he has an account in the States thanks to Adam, and maybe he bought it from a place to send over. I can't remember which one, but I remember I had Tim Tams sent to me by an Australian, which is just, again, is fantastic. But interesting, yeah. There's a bunch of people who are going to be very upset that you had to pause about choosing between.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
But I think that's the correct answer too. I know for me, I'd go Tim Tams as well, because candy corn I actually like too. I'm on Team Candy Corn when it comes to the drunk 3PO debate. But Tim Tams are better in this case. So Steph,
right.
What are your thoughts on it?
I was hoping y'all forgot I was here.
I heard you whisper your answer in the background, so I know that you have a response.
I love them both, but yeah. I really like Tim Tams. I do like those the candy corns, the ones that come in I think they're called the autumn mix, and they have like the marshmallow puffy things, and they're shaped like pumpkins, and they have a little candy corn. And those are really good. But Tim Tams all the way. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't think. See, for me, candy corn is always just, it's never changed. I've always been like, candy corn is candy corn. It's like, it's had the same structure, the same coloring. Like, it has, and probably the ones we're eating now were made 50 years ago, because it just, like, that's how little it changes. But, wow, yeah. There's a lot more to candy corn, apparently. Yeah. You want to tell us? So Steph, since we're on you, do you want to give us more of the history of candy corn a little bit?
No. It's just good to have it. I mean, I guess it just reminds you of being a kid.
It does, though. It really does.
Yeah.
it was the standard Halloween candy. Like, obviously you had, the regular chocolates and stuff, but candy corn always had an appearance no matter where you went.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like those little strawberry candies, like your granny had. With
yes.
Chewy thing. Yeah, I can only get that at Christmas. So I love those.
Yeah, there's also it's like the caramel treats too. Whatever those things are called. Like, is it the Werther's candy? Like the Werther's caramel candy?
Oh yeah.
So good. So very good. Rosie212 says, I'm guessing we'll all need, this is actually a question. It's shaped like a question, but I think it was more meant to be a statement, but it is interesting. Do you think, and maybe you've heard something, Tina, about this, has there been talk, especially about people who are going to be flying to ports and traveling on boats? Are they going to have and force y'all to do vaccinations or prove vaccinations in these places?
They haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I think the only line, and it is one that I will never be able to go on unless I hit a lottery. Crystal Cruise Line said their passengers and crew will have to vaccinate. Carnival so far, and I think Royal Caribbean have said crew. Nobody has said about will passengers have to do it. Here in Kentucky, they just set up a new tier as far as who can get the vaccine. And plus that we have a shortfall of it anyway. So I guess they've gotten through the first responders, medical people, like that. And now they're like, okay, we can get to other seniors, and they're going to, I'm not getting it until, if they tell me I have to have it to get on a cruise ship, then I'll get it. So.
Yeah. No, I think that's something where too, everyone's going to have a different motivation for either getting it or not getting it. And just after everything you've gone through this year of having, and because I remember I forget which cruise, I think it was the one in December or November. And I remember you were just so excited for it. And then I remember the day you found out that it wasn't happening and how hard that was. And so I totally understand why you would be like, if I have to get this and they're telling me that it's mostly fine and safe, hey, if it means that I get to go on a cruise and I get to do the thing that I love, I totally understand that. And I think that's everyone's going to have different reasons and motivations, but that makes total sense to me.
Yeah, because I understand my stylist the other day, she was like, she was going to get it, and she's young, but I get it. She's working with the public, so I get that. I'm not around that many people anymore with me being retired. So it's like, I'm only going to get it if they tell me, well, to fly, you have to get it, or to get on the cruise ship, you will. Yeah. That's going to be it.
Yeah. And it's definitely, it's scary to think about, right? Because this mindset of, you're essentially being forced and pressured in certain ways. But as I said, if it's something where it's keeping you from doing something that you love, I could totally see it being, I'm willing to fight this battle and I'm willing to support other people that are going to fight this battle. But for me, hey, I also want to be able to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. We do have some more questions related to the things going on. But first, Michael Skew have just dropped a donation. Thank you very much for the super chat. Says, do you have the Lion chocolate bar in America? Lion chocolate bar.
I've never heard of Lion.
Yeah. I'm gonna DuckDuckGo that real quick. Lion. Also, I'm glad that I've taught myself, because I've been using it on a daily basis, to say I'm gonna DuckDuckGo that instead of Google, because it's just so nice to be like people saying, "Why are you saying that?" Because Google sucks. That's why. Let's see, Lion chocolate bar. Let's see. Ooh, that actually looks fierce. There's like an actual lion on this bad boy.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that page not found there. British Food Depot. Oh, it's not found there. I keep opening up the links and it's like, does not exist. Cannot buy it. Okay, here it is. There's a Amazon account. Let me open up a tab over here so way people can see it. Because it actually looks pretty hardcore. Look at that. Look at this. There's actually a lion on there, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Wait a minute, this is confusing. It's a Nestle brand, but it says visit the Gerber store?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, Gerber? Like Gerber babies? But
wow.
listen to, it gets even more confusing. Listen to this. All right. So it's caramel filled wafer covered in milk chocolate. That's delicious. It then says delicious, crispy, and creamy, imported from Ireland. So it's Nestle Gerber import from Ireland.
I'm so confused.
I am too. It sounds delicious though. So I've not heard of that, but it sounds pretty delicious. So I'll have to check that at some point.
Oh, Will Gentry said Gerber bought Nestle.
Really?
I didn't know that. I can't keep up with all these.
I'm gonna say I thought Gerber was just baby stuff.
Oh, me too.
I did too.
I guess Gerber's like, we're branching out. Gonna get the chocolate market. It's a pretty big marketplace. Sharon Ferguson says we will have to remember to have that reading from Acts with us when we get there. Boom, that too.
Yes.
Absolutely. Badass says Odin should do a movie cruise out of New Orleans. Is there a movie cruise?
Well, there are cruise ships out of New Orleans. Yeah, we'll make up our own group. We'll do a group. I'll get in touch with my contacts at Norwegian Cruise Lines and say, hey, we're getting a group cruise together.
I say I would trust myself picking out a boat, but I would trust Tina because she knows boats.
Oh yeah.
Some of my favorite stuff is hearing her talk about the different ships and their maiden voyages and where they are and the one that she's going on and the history behind it. It's always fun to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
It really is. With the Greece with the cruise from out of Greece, do you know what ship that is yet?
Yes. The line we're going on is called Celestial. They are a Greek-owned line. The ship we're going on is going to be their flagship called the Experience, which originally was the Costa Neo Romantica. And so Celestial bought the ship, redid it. They're going to have like a Japanese tea garden and this full-fledged spa if you want to use it. And nice. What's so funny is the junior balcony suite that I got is cheaper than what I was going to pay for Alaska.
Oh my goodness. And for me, it's like Greece seems to be a much higher tier than Alaska trip, at least for me.
You would think, but yeah. But they have a whole bunch of balconies, and they're going to have like a wine and cheese room, and I know where
Tina's going to be.
Yes,
she's going to be in that wine and cheese, and she'd be like, "I would like to try." I just know the one cheese you will not have. You will not.
Oh, brie?
Yeah, you will not have the brie. Like they'll come around with the tray and you'll ask what sort of cheese is this? Brie, and you'll be like, oh no, thank you, no thank you.
Tastes like wood.
It tastes like privilege.
Yes.
This cheese wasn't made for me. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Well, the thing is, this cruise is so port intensive. It's like we're in a port every day. When we're in Santorini, we'll be there all day. We won't leave until like 2 a.m. the next day. And I think Sharon can correct me. We keep going back and looking at our itinerary. I think it's Mykonos. We're there overnight. It's one of them we're there overnight, and the other one we leave early the next, like 2 a.m.
Okay.
So we'll get to see a lot of sunsets, and I know me and Sharon have talked about we're going to go over to Delos, which was where Apollo and his twin Artemis were born.
Oh, okay.
So if you believe in mythology.
Oh yeah. What about the island? And I'm terrible when it comes to this part of the world's history and geography, but I believe island of Crete, is that going to be in the running in the cards?
Oh, shoot, let me. Steph, talk, fill in. I'm gonna look at the itinerary because it's
boom. So Steph, what do you have to say about Crete and about Cruises.
I've been on 2 different cruises.
Okay.
One was it was like a family reunion. So it was all of us on a cruise ship, and I had the best time.
Okay.
I was pretty brave. I went off by myself, and then I saw some things. You probably shouldn't do that by yourself. But other than that, it was great. And it hurts me that Tina can't have her way, because that's her jam.
Yeah.
She loves that.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be like if someone told me, "Hey, sorry, you can't see any movies this year." I'd be like, excuse me?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? This doesn't make any sense. What was your favorite part of the cruise overall, though, Steph?
I love those midnight buffets.
Oh.
I ate, if they had something open, I was eating. Like,
oh yeah,
definitely. I was like, I will make them go, God, girl.
That's the only reason I would ever go, because like it's just not my style. Like, it's just not, like, I don't think. I mean, I've never tried it before, so maybe I could be converted just by going on one. But I feel like the one thing that would draw me in is the talk of the buffet. Like, it'd be like, yes. And I do say buffet and not buffet. And I get buffet actually because of, as you all know, I'm a huge fan of the late great comic John Panette, and he would always be like, I went down to the buffet. And so ever since I say buffet instead. But yeah, I agree, buffet. I want it. Absolutely. Tina, did you find?
I did. I had it on my TripIt app.
Nice.
That's TripIt. You can get it for free or get TripIt Pro for $49 a year, but you can put all your info in there.
Tina is sponsored today by TripIt.
By TripIt. Let's see. We leave out of Athens. Well, actually, Piraeus Port. Then the next day we're in Odysee, which is where Ephesus is.
Okay.
And we have a shore excursion there. The next day we're on Rhodes, and our excursion is included. We're going to Lindos and the Citadel of the Knights. Let's see. Then the day after that, which will be a Tuesday, we will be on Crete.
Nice.
Then Santorini, we get there at 7 in the morning and don't leave until 2:30 the next morning.
Wow.
Okay. And then, that Thursday, we only spend a few hours in Milos. And then we arrive in Mykonos in the evening, and we don't leave Mykonos until 11 o'clock the next day.
Wow.
So we're kind of thinking we all get off the ship, we have dinner somewhere at one of those family restaurants, and then we'll have a full day the next day, and that's when me and Sharon are going to try to get over to Delos.
Nice.
So that's it, and then back to Athens. So yeah, like I said, it's very port heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. And mentioning all those times, it obviously makes me think of the different time zones. Do you tend to, for cruises, especially ones that are in other parts of the world, do you tend to try and get? I remember you mentioned flying in early. Do you fly in early to try and get used to the time difference?
Yeah, I do. I do. It's funny though, when I fly like east. Like when I've gone to England, I usually am not bothered by jet lag. When I come back to the States is when I'm wiped out.
Okay. Well, I feel like it's probably because of just the motivation factor, because you're just so excited that it just, anything that might drag you down or anything that might, have any type of like mental like tiredness towards you is just done away with because of your excitement. So I could see why it would work one way and not the other. Yeah,
they always tell you when I went to England, I got there in the afternoon. They always tell you, it's probably night where you've come from.
Yeah.
Just throw yourself just like, okay, it's the afternoon, and start going to bed on their time. And it works. Now, my mom, one time when she called me, I was asleep.
Oh, no.
And she called me. She didn't know the time. And she said, what do you think about those fireworks? It was thunder over Louisville. And I'm like, I'm looking out the window and I'm going, what fireworks? And she said, what are you talking about? What fireworks? And I said, I don't see. And she said, oh, that's right.
My bad. Go back to sleep if you can.
Go back to sleep, because I was like, it's 3 in the morning.
Well, that's awesome.
Rita,
yeah.
She was probably checking to make sure you were in your bed.
Probably was, and then pulled back. What do you think about the fireworks?
Isn't it always amazing how like all parents just have that that intuition, like they just know when it's like, oh, they're out and I don't know where they are, and so therefore I'm just gonna whenever I want to say and ask anything. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the night in another country somewhere.
Well, I rented an international phone. Mm-hmm. When I was over there in, I think it was 2005. And as I would walk through London, I would call her up because I had unlimited data. And I would tell her, I'm walking through this park. I'm here. And then when I got down to the embankment and Big Ben was getting ready to chime, and I held the phone up so she could hear it, because she always wanted to travel and just never got a chance to. So...
living vicariously, though. I mean, I think there is definitely some, obviously it's not the same, but I do think that there is this mental component that does make it like more than just looking at pictures.
Yes.
When you actually know someone going through it and are seeing it live from that person's view.
Yeah, exactly. And Stephanie, I thought of one of Rita's guilty pleasures the other day and was telling a friend about it, and she was like, are you kidding? Jennifer Beal was in that movie. Did you see
what movie?
The Bride.
Oh yeah, with Sting.
Yes.
Wait, it's a movie called The Bride?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it. I've never heard of it.
It's the unofficial sequel to The Bride of Frankenstein, and it picks up from where that movie ended. And Sting plays Dr. Frankenstein, and Jennifer Beal played the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, Sting.
Yeah, Stephanie put.
Is it as great as it sounds?
Oh, it's terrible. It is so campy.
It's bad.
Is that like a mystery science theater movie?
If they mocked it, I'd probably get mad, because I know my mother knew it was bad, but she loves Sting.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like,
personal connection.
Mark 633 said The Bride is a must watch. It's so campy, and I think they kind of played it that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my mom, she would be sitting there like, he needs to stop educating her and start getting the love on. And I was just like, oh my God, my mother's playing this. Because Steph, you remember, he wanted her to be equal to a man, so he was educating her. And it's like, yeah, but when are y'all gonna get it on? Come on.
Yeah.
Priorities, Tina. Priorities. Okay. It's like, I can take all that education stuff, but come on.
Well, who else is in that? Quentin Crisp, who I know some of the Brits might recognize his name. He was one of the, I guess, first celebrities to come out of the closet, and he did it like back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And he plays Dr. Pretorius. And so he's not in it very long. And I think Clancy Brown played the monster, but don't hold me to that.
Okay.
So
I will hold you to it, and if you're wrong, you lose the prize. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lose. Good day,
you
sir.
lose. Good day.
Good day, sir. Speaking of cruises, though, Rosie G12 had apparently not a cruise, but a trip planned to Bavaria and Austria last year, but it had to get canceled, so they're hoping to do that one this year. Yeah. Have you ever been to Bavaria, Austria?
No, I'd love to.
Yeah. And also, Sharon says she's never heard of Tim Tams.
Oh.
Well.
Oh, we got to work on that.
Sharon, that needs to be worked on.
World Market. Check out World Market and see if they might have.
Yes, World Market has them.
Every time I go down the international aisle at my Publix, boom, they still got those Tim Tams.
Oh, nice.
Haven't picked them up in a long time, and it's Lent, so I probably won't, but hey, Easter Sunday, I might just need to be like, hey, let's get some Tim Tams today. Rosie G12 also says, what's a Tim Tam?
Oh gosh.
All I can think of whenever I see the expression of "what's a," is from a Harry Potter musical. Which, bless you, absolutely, is from a Harry Potter musical, which I always recommend because it's hilarious. But someone at one point says, talks about Hufflepuffs, and it's a commentary and it's a comedy based on the Harry Potter universe. And so the guy stands up and says, Hufflepuffs are particularly good finders, right? Trying to, say Hufflepuffs are important. And then the guy that plays Dumbledore comes back with, what the hell is a Hufflepuff? And it's like, these are all the questions that I had as well. Like, what's a Hufflepuff? What is this? That's what I saw with that. What's a Tim Tam? What the heck is a Tim Tam? It's essentially a little, in the words of my UK brethren, it's a little chocolate biscuit.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe it. And I see Will Gentry explain it that exact way. He says it's a chocolate biscuit type thing. Type thing, Will. Is that your proper English coming out? Type thing. Andrew Hoyle says we have Tim Tams in the UK, but we call them penguins. Interesting. I actually hadn't heard that yet. Pat S. had said he thought that it was New Zealand that had the Tim Tams. I actually don't quite know. Robert has a question. When you meet Jesus, what 3 questions will you ask him first? So, Tina, what would you ask him?
I have always wondered that. Now, okay, I'll tell you one of them. I can't think of the other 2.
Yeah.
The one I would love to ask him was Lee Harvey Oswald the only one involved in the JFK assassination, or was there actually a conspiracy? Of course, at that point, it won't matter. Yeah. I just want to know.
It's like, I just got to know.
I got to know.
What happened here? That's a unique question. I never would have thought of that as being, but it's like when we don't know. There's still such a mystery out there. Steph, what would you ask? What would be one question you would ask?
I guess I know this is really corny. It's totally me, but I'd just say, what was it all for? Like,
yeah. Mine would be similar. Yeah.
Pain, suffering, happiness, delight, pain, pleasure. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably go that route too, and I would probably do some type of quote from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Just be like, "What's the meaning of life? Is it really 42? I just really gotta know. I just really gotta know."
I was thinking about Monty Python's The Meaning of Life when he's like, the death comes to the dinner party, and he's like, "You could just shut up now because you're dead." I love that.
Meaning of Life is one of the ones I don't know as well. Is that the one where they're singing at the dinner table about relations between people and the importance of certain elements of life? Every something has a soul, as it were.
Oh, yes. Yes, that. It's every food is sacred.
Oh, we lost Tina. We lost Tina, everybody, which means it's just Steph on now. So Steph, it's your show now.
No.
Well, we'll wait for Tina to jump back in. I know sometimes we have some people having to jump out.
Where are all those other people that are usually here? Please come.
I know. It's not one of those shows, Steph. It's not one of those shows. So we'll go. We'll stick with it. Oh, Tina's back. What's going on?
Yay.
Tina?
Thank God.
Tina. Hello?
T? Oh, there she is. Oh.
Tina. Tina.
I think she's here.
I think she might be having some technical issues. Ooh.
Okay.
I'm hearing something. Tina.
Hello?
Tina. All right. Well, while this gets... It's the old Chia Pet commercial, right? Chia. Anyway, as we wait for her to get some issues, we don't know what's going on yet. Your Muzzle Uncle, though, says, I remember those strawberry candy they fill a lot of Christmas socks. Yes, indeed. Soul Assassin also in the chat. Hail to you. Tina, you back?
No, still work. Can you all hear me?
We can hear you now. Yes.
Yes.
That is so weird. I think my Bose headphones went out, so I'm going to go
no.
without them.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, they just went boom, and it was like I couldn't hear you all anymore. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to speak into my mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, still sounds good. Still coming through.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah,
sorry,
absolutely.
I missed the last 2 minutes.
Oh no, I'm sorry that happened.
No, I'm so glad you're back.
Me too.
But I told Steph it's the Steph show now, and she's like, no. She's like, where are all the other people that are normally here? So let's just catch up with some chats. Michael Skewa says the Lion Bar was launched here in England in 1976 by Nestle. Getting back to the Lion Bar, it sounds delicious. Chocolate caramel, or as I like to say, caramel, and wafers. Sounds delicious. Sounds wonderful. As Stephanie B, I see you type in the duck, duck, duck goes. Yes. John Castro in the chat as well. Let us see. Southeastern Kaiju. What's going on? He has to say, instead of this is Sparta, this is Crete. Yes. That's what y'all should do when y'all are there. Y'all should reenact, for some reason, y'all should reenact the Spartan scene, but make it Crete instead. Just to see what the people around you can be like, this, what are you doing? Pat S says, if you go to a Greek Orthodox mass, it counts as your obligation if you're in Greece. There you go.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I would actually want to go just because Greek Orthodox like celebrations in general are awesome. Like they're just, I've only ever been to one because we actually had a Greek, I think it was a Greek Catholic group come to one of our churches to celebrate. It was fascinating.
Wow.
Because you know how typically in the Catholic Church, right, you have the bread and wine, right, body and blood of Christ, and it's given at different times. In the Greek tradition, what they do is they basically have a bunch of almost little balls of bread that are all put into the chalice of wine, and then you go up and they literally take this little spoon and they take one of the pieces of the soaked bread, and then you literally go up there and you have to like lean back so that they can then essentially like just drop it in your mouth. It's fascinating, but it's also kind of cool because you're actually getting the body and blood at the same time. And so it's like, oh, that's kind of cool actually how they did it. And so yeah, I would go just to experience it because the music I imagine is going to be gorgeous. If you've never heard Greek chant before.
Oh wow, I never even thought about
that. Let's see. Thirsteth Warrior says, I went to a funeral at a Greek Orthodox church once. After the service, they rolled out the mini bar and we did Ozu shots. Kind of a shock for a Baptist like me.
Wow.
Well, if it had been a Catholic church, I would have said, hey, that's those Catholics for you. But I guess the Greeks like to get down too.
From the videos I've seen, yeah, they do.
Oh, I mean, have you seen their baptisms?
No, yes. I've seen the
it's great
parties.
I show it to my
kids.
Yeah, but say Steph knows what I'm talking about. I show this to my kids every year when we talk about baptism because what they do is they'll dunk the kid feet first, flip them over like nothing, right. Dump them in head first. And then they do it like several times, and you're just looking at this little baby just being like tossed around. Essentially, it's fantastic.
It's a baby in a salad bowl. You're like,
pretty much. They're pretty much getting tossed around like a salad, as it were. Your Muslim uncle then said, the way you said Blu-ray reminds me of Who's on First? Goofy. Interesting. Slicer says, asking for a friend. How annoying does a guy have to be before you block him in the live chat and file a restraining order on him?
Oh, no.
You have to be... We really don't block a whole lot of people on the channel. Mm-hmm. You know, it tends to be... There's two things that can get you in trouble with the Valks. And that's actual spam, like just nonstop, same thing over and over and over again, and targeted harassment. Those are pretty much the only two things that will get the Valks angry. And when the Valks lay down that hammer, they have my full support because every time I see it, I'm like, I know you did it for a good reason. And then there's one like subsection. Yeah, like imagine it's like a contract. There's a subsection there that says every time Brad Noble is in the chat that they have the right, they have the right to time him out for whatever reason that they see fit. So, but other than that, those are really the only two ways. Oh, Brad, he shows up whenever he wants and then he disappears and never calls again. It's just awful. Yeah, he buys me dinner, right? And then he just never calls. It's just awful. It's awful. I'm heartbroken by it. Not another. I just love, because I understand where this name comes from, but not another dime. Thank you very much for the super chat. I just like it. I know it's about, not giving money to the big corporations and to Hollywood and everything, but I just like how Not Another Dime also gives super chats. So it's like, not another dime, but here's a super chat just for your troubles. I appreciate it though. Not another dime. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, Soul Assassin says Tina's Cruise Reviews YouTube channel idea. Yes.
Oh, there's so many.
So many. And now. One of them needs to happen.
Oh, yeah, there's so many. There's so many YouTubers that do cruise reviews,
but they're not Tina.
Well, they're not me. Well, thank you, Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey.
Oh.
I'm sure I'll get to that point in the chat at some point. You all know me. It's 7:40 in the chat. It's 7:57 in real life. So we're right on schedule, everybody. Super Anime Gamer was late and says, "Hey, what is up, my dude? Lost track of time, but happy birthday, Tina."
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Bruce says, Tina said, I can come with them. Is that true?
I can give you the name of the travel agent that's arranging my group, and
I think Bruce just tried to invite himself. I think that's what just happened.
Yeah, it's actually very reasonable. So.
Pat S has an important question though. What do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Greece?
Beats me. I'm struggling with Greek right now.
Because you've seen. Now I'm blanking out on it.
12 Fiction.
12 Fiction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured you had. I figured that you had. So, a royale with cheese. Yeah, I wonder what they would call it in Greek.
I'm not even sure.
Well, here's a project for you when you go to Greece. You'll go to, you're going to go to the nice places, right? But you're going to see, I'm sure, a random, McDonald's somewhere.
Oh, my God.
And you're not going to buy anything. All you're going to do is just go in and then just say, hey, what do y'all call a quarter pounder with cheese here? Just to see what reaction you get. Sharon,
can you imagine us going to a McDonald's? We're going to be in Greece and you say, let's check this McDonald's out.
And out of a lot of places to go, we know, even for me who has never been there, we know Greece is known for food. It's one of the things that it's known for is for good food options. So, yeah. Could you imagine going to a McDonald's in Greece? Now, I went to Ireland once with my family, and I can tell you, and no offense to my UK brethren or anyone that might also be from Ireland, but that's one of the few times where, you know what, going to McDonald's makes sense.
The only time I ever ate at, I guess what you'd call an American fast food restaurant was when I was in London. I'd been on a Jack the Ripper tour. By the time I got back to my hotel, it was after midnight, and I was starving, and the only thing that was open was a Burger King across from my hotel. And I was like, I just need something.
Wow.
But otherwise, I try to eat, the
local stuff.
The things that they have. Yeah.
Right.
Well, because you're never going to be in that area for long. You're not going to be that area for long. You don't know when you're going to return. So, hey. As the expression goes, when in Rome, in this case, when in Greece.
When in Greece.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. My wife and I did our honeymoon in Iceland. And yes, I know. Everyone's like, Iceland? Trust me, it was fantastic. But one of the things that's like a to-do item over there that you see in some of not the official books, but some of the more here's how to really live the Iceland experience. There's this thing with hot dogs in Iceland. Because they're made with because they have so many. I think there's more lambs or more sheep than people in Iceland, and so they have to cook them up. And so hot dogs are a big thing, and it's lamb hot dogs essentially, and they're delightful.
Oh,
yes,
love lamb.
But it's a big thing. Sharon says, I know when Tina and I went to England, we visited Piccadilly Square at night, and I remember sitting at the steps at the fountain, and it hit me, I was finally in England.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That was a great trip, but we didn't get to do as much as we had wanted to, but it was still a great trip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Alice McCarthy is, I think, trying to one-up you. He just says, I've been to Russia.
And I said, that's on my bucket list. I want to do a Baltic cruise someday.
Okay. Yeah. Baltic cruise. That sounds delightful.
Yeah. And Norwegian's working on a new category of ships. I went in on Cruise Critic, and they're coming along really nice, but they're called the Leonardo category. They're going to be a whole lot smaller. Most of these cruise ships are massive, like 5,000 passengers or more.
Yeah.
The Leonardo class is only going to have like 3,000 passengers.
Okay, so it'll be able to get into smaller, like through smaller sections.
That's what I'm hoping, and I'm hoping that they will be doing a lot of the European cruises.
Yeah.
So that, because I know, like, when you take the Baltic cruises, the Norwegian Getaway had to like drop you off at one port and then bus you into the main port.
Yeah.
And because it wouldn't fit. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But it looks like it's coming along really well. And it looks, the designs we've seen so far look very, very snazzy. So.
Would you say they're a little futuristic?
A little bit. There's, I don't know. It looks kind of Star Trek-y on the back.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Hopefully OG Star Trek and not,
Yes, OG Star Trek, yes.
God forbid it's like a JJ Star Trek. And speaking of JJ level questioning, Nathan Slay says, what Tina would hate? A cruise with Tom Cruise. Here's a question for Tina. If you found out, so we take away the vaccines, we take away all that stuff. What if you were told you can go on a cruise, but you have to hang out with Tom Cruise the entire time?
I just hang with him.
Okay.
Let him jump up and down his sofas, and I put on a pair like his Top Gun Ray-Bans and just glare at him from behind them and think, God, you're such an idiot. Your wise left you. So.
Oh God. That's actually a movie I want to see. I want to see that now. Tina and Cruise.
Tina and Cruise.
The Adventures of Tina and Cruise. That's what it could be. Oh man, that'd be fantastic.
Oh my God.
Sharon says, I've never had Tim Tams, but I have heard of them. Okay. I get. Let's see. Michael Skewiff says, do you have Tango over there in America? It is the British equivalent of Fanta. Yes, I believe we have Tango. I've at least heard of it. If we don't have it, I've heard of it. Yeah. Sharon says she loves the Harry Potter musical. Yes, Sharon. So good. So funny. Recommend it highly to all people who have not seen it. Then Rosie G12 says a biscuit equals cookie. Yeah, so in America, biscuit means like nice, fluffy, buttery biscuit, right? You go to oh man, what's the place you go to? Cracker Barrel. You go to Cracker Barrel, you get some nice, delicious, buttery biscuits, right? In England, for them, a biscuit's like a little cracker or like a little cookie. Yeah. So whenever they're like, we're having tea and biscuits, it's not the actual biscuit that you would think of. It's actually like a cookie instead.
Yep.
Yeah. Those English people, man, I tell you. And half my audience has now been ticked off.
Oh, I would bring like real flour biscuits. I'd be the dum-dum. Hi, everybody.
You'd be invited to a fancy party, and they'd be like, tea and biscuit party. You'd be like, oh, I got the biscuits. And then
I
they're
shall
like,
do.
Excuse me, miss, what is this?
And I'd be like, it's a biscuit. What?
Please, sir, may I have some more?
Please, sir, I have some more. To be honest, I think tea, like actual like legit tea and American biscuits would actually be pretty good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd eat it.
Yeah. A Thirstieth Warrior's question to Jesus would be, what really happened to Amelia Earhart?
Oh yeah, that's another.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, what's the guy's name? Like there's a whole bunch of conspiracies about him. He like stole money and was on a plane and like jumped off the plane.
Yeah. DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
Oh.
DB Cooper.
DB
That's what
Cooper.
it is. Yeah. What
And
happened to
they
DB
did-
Cooper?
Yes, and they did a thing on History Channel where somebody thought they had tracked him down, and I think he, had died since then. And they were doing all kinds of different, DNA and stuff, and they're like, "Nah, that's not gonna be it," and I don't think we're ever gonna find out. Oh.
Absolutely. All right, so I jumped ahead in the chat a little bit because I want to make sure that we have enough time for this. So Tina was meant to talk about something on the last Chosen stream, and I very rudely cut her off. And I wanted to make sure that, especially since this is her birthday stream, that she was able to share it. So, Tina, what were a couple of those things that you wanted to talk about still?
Okay. You had asked me how many YouTube channels I sub to, and I went in and counted all of them. It's like 147, 48, something like that. And I started kind of rattling off some of the channels that I wanted to give a big thumbs up to. So grab your paper and pencil and write some of these down. And I'm not going to name anybody in the Fandom Menace because I think all of you all are, probably sub to them anyway. But a few of them I want to recommend. Up From the Depths and Altieri are both really into kaiju monsters. I definitely recommend them. That's the reason why I haven't watched that many movies this month, because I've been trying to find out about the history of Godzilla and all of the other kaiju monsters. So I definitely recommend both of them. That Umbrella Guy, a lot of you all probably listen to anyway. Crimson Sin, I mentioned, was one of the first YouTube channels I ever subbed to, and they were the ones who did the first review of Alita and convinced me to see it. They do a lot of like Star Trek, Star Wars. Right through here, I know they've been reviewing WandaVision, and some of the episodes that they have just been like, "Oh my gosh, that was terrible." Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, my sinuses. I apologize.
Oh no, that's okay. With that, there is now. I've opened up the giveaway.
I see that.
So that anyone who wants to enter in can do so. So that at the end of the stream, we can go ahead and give away some movies. We've got films like Total Recall, Mallrats, Top Gun, Going My Way, Bad Times at the El Royale, Midway, Rambo: Last Blood, Sonic the Hedgehog, 1917, and Speed on Blu-ray to give away. So if you want to enter in for any of those, follow the instructions, and I'll put this off the screen in a second. But please continue, Tina.
All right. Few others. Dave Sundstrom, Sundstrom. He does a lot of nostalgia, like going back to the 50s and 60s as far as TV shows. And he can come up with some interesting information about things that I didn't even know about. And this is on like shows that I'm sure a lot of us have been watching for years, like the Andy Griffith Show. He has so much trivia. So I recommend him. Cult Cinema Classics. He tends to run a lot of cult movies. He'll do a live stream, play the movie. He will have a live chat. Those are a lot of fun. Saber Spark. He's different. He does a lot of weird animation. one of the movies he found, I think somebody had told him about it, was Joshua and the Promised Land, which is based on the biblical story, but all of the characters are lions. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And he considers that one of the worst animated movies he's ever seen. But he's got such an eye for detail on animation. That's the reason why I recommend him.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious Mr. Enter. He's very quirky. He can be controversial. He will do animated atrocities, and then he'll do animated where he's giving it a thumbs up. But he's gotten into a few things that YouTube almost kicked him off because he was discussing what they were doing in the cartoon, but it turned out it was like YouTube didn't agree with what he was discussing. But I've been listening to him for a couple of years. Phantom Strider, I think he's Australian, but he usually will do lists like the best Sesame Street episodes.
I was going to say Sesame Seed. That sounds interesting.
Sesame Seed. He did one the other day, the 5 worst Dora the Explorer episodes. And people in the comments were like, well, all of them were, but Cynic Snacks, his little shtick is he does a animated pizza slice, and he will get into not necessarily cult movies, but a lot of popular movies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cut them up. Dark Corners Reviews does a lot of horror. They did a beautiful retrospective on Bela Lugosi and also Lon Chaney Sr. that I highly recommend. Men of the West and Geek Zone, they're all Lord of the Rings. Mr. H Reviews, a lot of you may know. Shadow Streak, I'm trying to remember what Shadow Streak does. He also does animation. Weekend Warrior did a great 3-parter tearing to pieces of The Rise of Skywalker. And that was worth a sub. E-Hacker, I mentioned him. That was Entertainment Hacker. They used to come to our chat a lot. His channel, he mainly deals in the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard stuff, and sometimes Harry and Meghan. And
so Steph has a lot to say about that one, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Johnny Jonny Bach, Baak. He does a lot of behind the scenes on old television and also movies. Super Voice Cinema, definitely recommend him. His videos are about movie projects that never happened. The most recent one I saw is the one where he discussed the Tim Burton Nicolas Cage Superman that never came about. Warner Brothers went through this. They were like, oh, we don't want that script. We need another script. And they had all these writers coming in, working on these Superman scripts. And it was like every young guy in Hollywood was trying on the Superman outfit, even Henry Cavill at the time. And this is the early aughts. Then this J.J. Abrams wrote a script that was supposed to be a trilogy. It's called Superman Flyby, I think. Somebody leaked it on the internet, and the Superman fans went ballistic. And they were like, they don't know who this idiot is, but he don't know anything about Superman. JJ said, oh, it's the first draft, don't worry. So after all these millions of dollars, and they were building sets, Warner Brothers just decided, you know what, we don't want to do a Superman movie. Let's do something else. So they still don't know what they're doing at Warner Brothers.
It's almost like, did they ever really know what they were doing the last several years?
They did when Jack L. Warner.
Oh, yeah.
The founder, I mean, he would kick these people from one end. He'd be like, you are destroying my studio that me and my brothers built. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's kind of genre-driven. My movie study and analysis. Cinema Tyler, I have recommended a few times on the channel. He gets very in-depth into movies like Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, There Will Be Blood. 100 Years of Film. His channel does a video that usually runs 10 or 15 minutes. He will take 1 year in the history of film and will find one movie that kind of, shook up cinema. One of them was the movie we looked at last summer, Odin, The Adventures of Robin Hood. That was kind of the birth of the rogue, I think he called it.
With your favorite, Errol Flynn.
My favorite, Errol Flynn.
Yes, indeed.
Oliver Harper, he does some great movie analysis. He does a lot of retrospectives. Most recent one I looked at was Prometheus, which I've never seen because I didn't have any interest in it. And I think the behind the scenes is probably more interesting than the movie. I don't know. Greta Zenner, who is one of our regulars.
Yes.
She just did one on Edith Head and the costumes that Edith Head did, and that the character in The Incredibles that says no capes was based on Edith Head.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, no wonder that character looked familiar.
Yeah, and she is a friend of the channel, and especially for her, she does so much research, and that's why for the longest time I said it'd be really cool to see a collaboration between you and Greta, because both of y'all are so historically minded. Y'all both do your research, you do your reading, and so it'd be fascinating to hear a discussion between y'all about movie history, I think.
Well, she was asking, what are your favorite costumes from Edith Head? And I said, well, Grace Kelly in Rear Window, because it's like she's floating in those costumes, and Kim Novak in Vertigo, and the costumes worn by Deborah Paget, Ann Baxter, and Nina Foyt in The Ten Commandments. And I said, but I'm so glad that Edith Head had Yul Brynner wear this cape in this one scene, because he is working that cape and you are looking at him and going, oh, you go, Yul. Sweeping that cape behind you.
I know exactly that scene.
Also, Miss Martin Muses wishes you a happy birthday and is offered once again another rose.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see, Minty Comedic Arts. He's another one that goes into, he usually does 10 or 15 things that you may not have known about, like fill in the blank, whatever movie. And so that's kind of interesting, because he comes up with things I never even knew before. He does a lot of research. Cut Short is kind of like Super Void Cinema. He talks about movie projects that never happened, TV projects that never happened. Film Brain is a critic out of Britain. I like George Rakal Schmidt. I think he might be German, but
with the last name Schmidt, he should be.
Yeah. He doesn't do very many videos anymore, but I know he did one on why M. Night Shyamalan has turned into a disaster. That was pretty interesting. Nitpicks. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nitpicks is pretty much what he does. He will pick movies that come out on Netflix and tear them to pieces. And he stays busy. Super Void Cinema. Oh, I've already mentioned him. I had him on here twice. And Cognitive Learning. He is a real expert in The Shining. So if that's one of your favorite movies, or you kind of wanted to know more about it, I would say go to his channel, COLLATIVE Learning. I've learned a few things about The Shining that I'm not sure I ever wanted to know.
Behind the scenes or in the film?
Don't tell them.
Yeah, in the film itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and
I know of a lot of the disturbing things behind the film, especially with how they treat that poor woman. But in the movie too. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. There's some little things that when he picked them out, I was like, I've seen this movie 100 times and I never noticed that before. And now it's like I can't unsee it. If you're into meditation or binaural beats or relaxation, I would recommend Jason Stevenson or Healing Vibrations or Relax Cafe Music. They just help you calm down. And as far as my historical and mythology, this is the Tudor fan in me, the Anne Boleyn Files and Tudor Society, Claire Ridgway. I've been part of her group probably for about 15 years or so. And she got a YouTube channel, and every day she does something in Tudor history. And I mean, that way, you know, if you're not familiar with it, it kind of brings you up to date. She's even started doing like having people can write in a question and say, hey, I saw this on the Tudors. Did that actually happen? And usually it's like, no, it didn't.
Did you like the Tudors as a show?
I did. Okay. Overall, as a show, I liked it. Historically, there were things that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. The one thing that really makes me mad is that they always portray Catherine of Aragon because she was a Spaniard. Mm-hmm. They always have her with dark hair. Catherine actually was a redhead, like the Tudor. Because
I never knew that because they always, as you said, they always portray her with the dark hair.
With the dark hair, but she was, if you see several of her portraits, she was a redhead. Her mother, the Isabella of Spain, is also a redhead, but they had English ancestors in their background that had married into the Spanish royal family. Okay, John Solo, Jon Solo. He always says John shot first. He does a load of mythology and fairy tale history. So check him out. See You in History Mythology. That's pretty obvious. Titanic Honor and Glory. That's obvious. Defunct Land goes into non-existent amusement parks and rides that don't exist anymore. And I learned a lot about the stuff that Disney has tried and has failed at. Mm-hmm. So Shadowversity, I think a lot of us know him. Bright Star Films, I know they're kind of niche. Brandon Tincott, strictly comedy, does reviews, but he makes them, they're very funny. He does a lot of cult movies, a lot of Turkish movies, like Turkish Star Wars. Which is
Turkish Star Wars?
Pretty much name any movie and put Turkish in front of it and it exists.
Wow. Is it kind of like how every year there's a big movie, like there's always like a C or D level version that's like almost the exact same? Interesting.
These are like Z level. Batman and Robin go to a strip club. Spider-Man is actually a hired killer. I'm not sure what Captain America was doing. Mm-hmm. Turkish Captain America, I should say.
Well, I wonder what Turkish Captain America would be like.
Turkish Captain but that's, Brandon Tincott, he's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Bob Show, he also does, like bad animation and everything. Phelan Porteous. If you are not looking at Phelan, you have to. Mm-hmm. I have learned so much about bad animation that has come out of like Germany. There was an old studio called Dingo that did these horrible animations with the same horrible music, and the characters would carry over from one cartoon to the other. They made movies like Lion and the King, in which the king says stuff like "my God," or one character says, "The Black Panther, your father is the Black Panther." Dingo Pictures, everyone. Go check them out.
Dingo Pictures.
Dingo Pictures. But here's the channel I definitely wanted to prop up because it ties into one of the things I didn't get to tell you all. Mm-hmm. His name is Obsolete Oddity, Oddity. And if you're interested in disappearances or strange histories or strange people, murder cases, Oddie does the most fascinating videos. And I just recommended him to Sharon. But here's what I was going to ask you on. I'm not in the chat because I was reading it off my spreadsheet. But who's the inventor of the motion picture?
I guess it depends on how far back you want to go. Like of moving pictures or of like the motion picture?
The actual the person that in the history books that is credited with having created the moving picture.
Oh man. I say some people would mention people like Edison.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there's other names too that are typically mentioned too.
Okay. The actual inventor of the motion picture is a man named Joseph LaPrince.
See, and I've never heard that name before in all the subjects. Yeah, because I did general movie history in college. Never heard that name.
Well, he's kind of like the Nikola Tesla of motion pictures, but he is now it's kind of like Bill Finger, who created Batman, never got credit for it, and is finally being given credit for it.
Okay.
Joseph LaPrince, if you go on YouTube, you can see the motion. When I say motion pictures, don't go on there thinking you're going to see like a 2-hour epic.
Oh, no.
We're talking about snippets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first ones were literally these very short sequences.
Exactly. There were some people moving around in the backyard. I think he shot a street scene off a bridge in England. But he was going to come back he was French, but he was going to come back to the United States to file the patent. His wife was already in the States. Thomas Edison did know of what LaPrince had been doing. Okay. He goes to Dijon to visit his brother. His brother claims that he put LaPrince on the train, but when the train arrived in Paris, LaPrince was not on the train and his luggage wasn't either.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Okay, a few weeks later, a body was pulled out of, I guess, the Seine. Of course, water does stuff to a body, but the face was still kind of intact, and they've compared that body to LaPrince's last known picture. It could be him, but they're not sure. Okay, several speculations have been that he committed suicide because of money problems. Well, if he had patented this motion picture machine, he wouldn't have had to worry about money for the rest of his life. So that's probably unlikely. Another rumor that got out was that he had a gay lover and he took off with him. Well, that doesn't make any sense either, because he was very excited about his machine. The other rumor, which most people believe, is that Thomas Edison had him murdered.
Edison?
Because not long after LaPrince disappeared, Edison filed his patent with the patent office and was then declared the creator of motion pictures. Okay, to throw more, now we're getting like into JFK conspiracy. LaPrince's son had worked with him in the lab. He came up dead in a hunting accident.
So he pulled a little Dick Cheney on him.
Sorry.
Whenever I hear hunting accident, that's all I can ever think of.
I didn't say that. But anyway, but it was thanks to Audie that I found out about this man. It was like he does all these disappearance stories. He didn't even have anything in the thumbnail that indicated this is the man who created movies. I was just like, oh, Audie's got, this is another video I haven't seen from a couple of years ago. And I look at it and I'm totally floored. And I'm like, oh my God, I was meant to see this video, because all these years, yes, Edison has been given credit for this. And I don't think he deserved it. And then people in the comments section were like, well, Edison electrocuted an elephant to prove a point. And a lot of his people that worked in his lab, he stole their ideas and patented them as his own. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Laura had mentioned in the chat, because she just recently watched, I think it was her first time watching it, The Prestige. And she had mentioned that apparently The Prestige talks or mentions something about, like, negatively about Edison. And I forgot that, but I kind of want to go back now and see. I wonder if Nolan kind of like tipped his hat to this general idea and concept.
It could be. And there's another movie that I think it might have come out right before COVID, and then it never had a theatrical release. And I think Tom Holland's in it, but it was the battle between Tesla, Edison, and Westinghouse. And I've never seen it like on home video or anything. So I don't even know the title. So,
Yeah.
I guess
wonder if we'll ever get to the day. And I think it's like more time that goes by, more information that comes out, more people that actually like dedicate the research to publicly exposing this stuff. I wonder if we'll come to a time when Edison will no longer be mentioned in any positive light whatsoever.
I think it's already getting there because that video, Audie's video, was like 2 or 3 years old. Mm-hmm. And when I was looking through the comments, I don't think I saw a positive comment about Edison. And people were like, yeah, more and more is coming out about what a dirty, dirty person he was. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and then somebody that's considered an American hero, he was supposed to be an American inventor. But the idea that possibly he had this man murdered just, so that he could be the first one to pass. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. People are people. So, but the last of my channels, Officer Tatum, which I think Stephanie knows, he does political commentary. He's a police officer.
Is he on YouTube still?
He is on. He is still on YouTube.
Oh, I might say because Politics Today, as you know, on YouTube is.
Yeah, he ran a video the other day. I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna wake up tomorrow and he won't be on there because he went there and it was still there. I'm going to recommend our own Stephanie B. If you just want a little bit of namaste.
Yes.
It's a Trap Productions who does a lot of gaming. I recommend Father Christopher's channel, The Nerd Father. And even though I'm not Catholic, it's like, I still enjoy watching it.
Because he's jovial. He's a jovial guy. And I'm so happy whenever I'm able to join those first Saturday of the month streams. Because it's just he gets a fun group of people. It's just it's fun. Typically when people think about priest and clergy, people think like ultra serious and no personality and no interest outside. Like it's just like the stereotype that I get as a religion teacher. Like I mention this to my kids all the time too. I'm like, do y'all honestly think that I just spend all of my time in the chapel praying the rosary? I go home and I'm praying and like I don't do anything else. So it's like when they find out, wait, we heard that you had a YouTube channel, and it's like, well, I'm a regular person, so, and it's just that there's this connection. But yeah, Father Christopher Miller always, it's great to have those talks, because also you have other people like Miss Martin Muses is on there with us. Lady Gravemaster was on us with us the other time, and it's so much fun. And John F. Trent from Bounding into Comics too.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess the other one, this is just another fun channel. It's called, a friend of mine recommended it. It's called The Report of the Week. And this young guy, like once or twice a week, he will get a new food that's come out at a restaurant and he will eat it on the air and will give a review of it. And he just reviewed, McDonald's just came out with a new chicken sandwich, and he said it's a little bit better than the one at Chick-fil-A.
Whoa.
It is.
It is? You've had
it? Yes.
What?
Chick-fil-A burned their bridge with me.
Oh. Is it because they flip-flop on a certain issue, or?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. No, I still...
They had the bird's nest on the ground. They go, no, we're going to virtue signal. So, yeah, I'm done.
I see. Here's the thing. I've never really liked them because I've always thought their food was overpriced for what you get. Like, you get good service, but to me, I'm like, I can go over to like Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, get that dollar menu, and it's pretty good stuff. And now you're telling me that the McDonald's chicken sandwich is now like.
Yep. He said there's two versions. There's the I guess kind of a country style.
Okay.
That has some breading on it, and then there's a spicy, but the spice seems to be in the sauce itself. But it's just fun because he dresses up. He puts on like a 3-piece suit. He's so adorable.
So he dresses up to go to Popeyes and to go to like McDonald's and everything.
Yeah, and then he'll sit like in his either on his patio or he'll be in his office, and he's like, "Well, today I'm going to review whatever," and it's just a fun, silly channel because that's why I said watch Brandon Tincott and Phalas and Red Letter Media, because sometimes you got to get away from the fandom menace stuff sometimes and the other stuff and just laugh,
Yes, absolutely. And it's, it's one of those things where I know a lot of people who, you know, have been longtime members, and they always tell me like, hey, I haven't been around because I've been trying to, you know, to kind of detox from it all, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
and it's something that I've always had to think of too, right? You know, and that's why I think I've kind of moved away more so from it than previously, where for a long time I know I was literally like, every time there was something negative that I could talk about, I would. But I can see how that can become very grating, and it can become very like it can be this giant weight, right, that weighs you down. And every now and then you just need to go off and watch a channel, have some fun instead, you know?
Absolutely, because I mean, there are some of Phalus's videos that I've watched 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah,
because they're hilarious.
Yeah,
and especially when he's talking about Dingo Pictures, Golden Books, which was a series of stuff, and animated movies.
Yeah,
when he's talking about them and their bad animation and how they come up with these, their Aladdin came out the same year as Guess Who's Aladdin, you know. There are like a zillion versions of Beauty and the Beast. There are some awful versions of Hunchback. There's one when Hunchback gets thrown off the cathedral and he sprouts wings and flies off.
So wait a minute, because here's how I can see how so the metaphor or the thought process there is that in that Hunchback he was hiding wings the entire time.
And even when they whipped him, his wings didn't pop out. I think that's a golden one, but it's called The Secret of the Hunchback. If you ever see a cartoon called The Secret of, stay far away from it.
The Secret of, always stay away from, you said?
Always say The Secret of Mulan, she's a bug. The Secret of Anastasia, her dead family are in musical instruments that follow her around. The Secret of the Hunchback, he sprouts wings and flies off.
Wow. That's see, for me, my escape tends to be more like into tech channels. I always mention that I'm a fan of Tim Pool because he talks about politics stuff, but there's other times too on his show where it's just like fun, like random discussions. But then I also dive into like music stuff. Like, let me just pull up my my history real quick, because today I've been on a Yu-Gi-Oh kick. So I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was a kid, and my mom and dad have my deck somewhere. We don't know where it is. We haven't found it yet, but I've been diving into it. So I ended up today. I went ahead and bought some cards. I bought some cards for the first time in probably a good 15 years or so. But one of them apparently has like some of the original decks with like, anyone that's a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh or ever heard of it might know this, but it'll have all the parts of Exodia. It'll have like the Dark Magician and like all the classic stuff. So literally it's like nonstop videos about that. And then I also watched a little bit about chaos magic because there's some connections there with things that have been going. Because my wife has been watching, because my wife is her own person. She's a strong, independent person. And so she has been watching, she's finally started to watch the, I'm blanking out, WandaVision. She's been watching WandaVision. And so I decided to, because we were spending time together, we watched it together. And so I finally caught up on it. But it actually kind of got interesting a little bit with this chaos magic. So I watched videos about what chaos magic is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that one person, I think I mentioned him the last stream. Sideways is the guy who did the 90-minute rant about cats and never mentioned the special effects hardly at all. It was like, I was like, at the end of his video, I was like, he's going to have an aneurysm from talking about this. But no, the way they filmed it was that there was no orchestra on the set, if I understand this right. They had the actors setting their own pace and rhythm by listening to music like in their headphones or their earbuds. Which meant that when the orchestra and the conductor got ready to do the accompaniment, they had to work the music into what the performer was doing, not the other way around. Nothing was in sync.
Yeah.
He even said that one, thank you, Jedi Starship. He said the scene with the dancing roaches, he said the tapping's not even in sync. if you look at it. What's her face was singing, I think, the harmony, not the melody. Thematically, it's off. If you know anything about the Cats musical and what it's supposed to be about, he said the theme is off. There were things that they were doing that it throws the entire story off. But and then there was another channel, I'm not sub to her, but she was in a performance of Cats on stage. She played the white cat.
Okay.
And she did a review of it and was tearing it to pieces. But no, I'm like Sideways. Sideways was like, everybody harps about the CGI. He said, oh, that's the less of his problem.
Yeah.
He said other problems.
My wife and I watched a similar one, but what's interesting too is I showed my wife the beginning of the movie, and immediately she was just like, what in the world am I watching? Because, it's just Jellicle cats and the Jellicle way, Jellicle. And you're just like, what the hell is a Jellicle cat? But then we would decide, this is actually the first time I watched the Broadway. So we watched the Broadway version, and there was like a filmed version of that. And it was like, somehow it was completely different. Like, even though it was the same music, same tone, there was just something about it that was so, and I was just like, this still Nightmare Fuel is not even close to as bad as what we got in the film.
Exactly. And he's also the one who did, I don't remember how long it lasted, but he also did What's Wrong with Les Mis, the movie version, same director. But he almost tore up those people's voices. If you compare, like, I know they handed Anne Hathaway an Oscar for her performance, but he said if you compare her performance to what they have done in stage performances.
Sorry, I had to sing the Oscar performance.
She's terrible. Her breath control is off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She's good for an actress. She's good for a non-trained actress. And that's the reason why everyone's saying she's amazing. It's like, yes, for someone that has not had training and was able to get trained for a movie and I would agree, but compare her to a Broadway, like, that's why the girl that played Eponine was a Broadway actress. Like, she had been in the revival of it, but anyway, you could just tell, like, the quality between the two, vastly different.
Yeah. I know Hugh Jackman almost tore up his voice because he was doing some kind of dieting or something that Sideways said you never ever do before you're getting ready to do something like that. And then he was like, Russell Crowe's not bad, but Tom Hooper just is not a good director.
What do you mean? What do you mean Russell Crowe's not bad?
Well, he was just saying that Two Fog is good.
They're not bad at all. I thought it would be awful, but it was a pretty good concert. Yeah.
But he was singing like Johnny Cash and blues like that. And that's what his voice is made for. You don't stick him in like a Broadway musical and say, okay, Russell, you're going to belt out this.
But you know what? He tried. He did try. He did get training. He did get training. And what's funny is that he was worse in the movie than he was at the live performance they did at the Oscars. Because like when he sang at the Oscars, he kept the training. Apparently he kept training after. And I was just like, why didn't you sound like that in the movie? Like, why are you sounding really great for? Is that a puppy dog out here?
That was Brandy.
Oh, it's your puppy. Oh, it's your puppy. Because all I can ever think of now, whenever I think of Russell Crowe in that movie, is the note he hits right before he dies. Because he just says, I am done. Done. And also, it's one of those moments too where you realize certain things from the stage can't translate on film, because the stage version of his death, he just falls and he disappears, and you're like, I know what happened, I get it. But then in the movie they have to show it, and so there's this CGI element. But then if you go back and look when he hits the water, it's the most cringeworthy thing, because you just see the body. It's like not a real, it's like a fake body. And so it's like oddly stiff as it hits. And it's like, it's a dummy that just hit the water. What the heck are we watching here?
This is like Wonder Woman rolling with those dummies in the Egyptian road. Sideways is really good. I mean, for me to devote 90 minutes of my life to watch him tear apart a movie I didn't even care about, but then for me to sit there and go, oh my God, they should never let Tom Hooper do another musical. This is awful.
Yep. And someone mentioned, since you were talking about different channels, it's a channel that I don't promote a whole lot because they have had a lot of issues in the past. But Angry Mango did a good shout. Ryan George of Screen Rant does those pitch meetings. Those are brilliant.
Yes, they are.
My wife and I are now obsessed with those, and so now it's just we quote it. So like he'll go into a movie into a rant, and we know that he's about to drop a line, and they're like, "Oh, that's probably gonna be pretty hard, right?" No, not at all. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh
so
my
good.
God. Well, that was like when I went to see Phantom of the Opera, which is one of my favorite musicals. I've seen it several times. Me and Sharon, when we were in London in 2009, we sat under the chandelier at Her Majesty's and watched a performance of it.
Nice.
It was fantastic. And but I went to see Phantom of the Opera. I think this is another case of the director forgot to ask the actor, do you know how to sing, before they, hired them. And I know with Johnny Depp, it worked when Tim Burton hired him for Sweeney Todd and didn't ask him, well, hey, Johnny, can you sing? And
it worked as much as it could.
And, but Phantom, every time Gerard got ready to hit one of those notes, oh my gosh, when I would hear Michael Crawford sing those notes, and it was just like you would melt.
Yeah.
And I was clutching the arms of the chair at the theater going, let him hit that note. Please let him hit that note. Oh, he kind of hit it. Sparta!
Don't let me down. Please don't let me down.
Well, you know what? That was the first movie I ever saw Gerard in, because 300 hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So,
Miss Martin Musa says it right. Nothing replaces a trained tenor in that role.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Miss Martin. And I mean, I've heard the first time I saw Phantom live, the man who played the Phantom was in Godfather 3. He played Anthony Corleone, who was an opera singer.
I always forget that. Yeah.
Yeah, and to think that we got to see him live, it was me and my baby sister, and we talked about that. It's just like, oh my goodness, we got to see him for real. And then the actor that Sharon and I saw in London, he went on he played the Phantom. Yeah. In the Phantom of the Opera movie, he played Christine's father. He just has this brief scene where he's on his deathbed. Mm-hmm. The same singer.
Yeah.
So, nice. But please don't ever support Love Never Dies. The cat destroyed the first copy, and then Weber was like, I'm gonna rewrite it. And it was like, no, you shouldn't have. This is terrible.
Oh, but there are some people that swear by it. But I'm so glad you were able to shout out your channels. Sorry again for cutting you off this past week.
Problem. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just want to prop up some people that aren't part of the Fandom Menace and go, especially Oddity. Definitely check it out. You can just binge watch his videos. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna post a link to that, because I know that we it's hard sometimes to keep up with everything with the links. And so what's the full name of the channel again?
It is Obsolete
Oddity. Obsolete Oddity.
And he has such a lovely voice. I think he's Swiss, he said. And he'll just go on, look at the videos and just find one you want to look at. And then the next thing you know, I'm going to look at another one.
Well, I just posted his link in the chat, so you can check it out there with that link next to Odin Question. As Miss Martin Musa has dropped a super chat. Thank you very much, Miss Martin Musa, for the super chat. Says, she got to see Michael Crawford in London as the Phantom in the summer of 1987. Unbelievable. That's fantastic. I will say, to be honest, for me, he's not my favorite of the Phantom voices. And it's just because I like a darker tone to the Phantom. Right. For me, I guess it's a preference thing, but I still appreciate to hell everything that he's done for that role, right? Because he is, when people think of Phantom, he is the quintessential Phantom. Yeah. So for sure. So that's amazing that you got to see him. And then she went on to say that she didn't get to see Sarah Brightman, but rather the alternate Rebecca Kane. But I'll say this much about Broadway and about revivals and all of like the major theater places, it doesn't matter if you get the lead or not. If you get one of those understudies in there, you're going to get a class act, top-notch person. Because typically I've seen shows where, initially you're like, I wanted to see the star, but then you see the understudy and you're like, damn, this person's might even be better than the star, because they're just everyone. It's just there's so much talent behind the scenes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, Tina, it's your birthday. And so in honor of your birthday, not only, of course, you're going to get a ton of stuff, but what was that, Steph?
Oh, I just said happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm no Michael Crawford, but, it's... I'd have to have like a to you. I can't even do his. It's just, again, it's just that classic style. I can't do it. But anyway.
I used to
Damn you, Father. Father just said Russell Crowe did it better. Father, that'll be 5 Hail Marys for your penance.
I used to sing that Phantom soundtrack so much. I was singing the soprano. But I used to be, when I was in chorus, I used to be a soprano.
Yeah.
And I think the fingerprint powder dropped my voice down, so I'm an alto now.
As Blake St. Clair comes in, says, now try it as Marilyn Monroe. Happy birthday to you. So when I was in high school, a classmate of mine, it was a very flamboyant individual. And so one day he actually in class sang happy birthday to a fellow student, and he sang it a la Marilyn Monroe. And it was a memory I will always hold on to, because obviously we thought it was funny and everything, but it was also a time when our teacher broke. Like, how teachers are always supposed to be, reserved, held back and everything. We would just look over and our teacher was just trying her best to hold in her laughter with what was going on. But it was just... as Father says, Nemo dat quod non habet. Don't act like you know those Latin words in here, Father. How dare you? But anyway, in honor of Tina's birthday, we are doing a giveaway. So thank you everyone for entering in. If you were not able to enter in, sorry, but the giveaway is now closed. But right now we do have several people who have entered in. So I'll read off those people first. These are people who have entered in: 13th Warrior, Orange Hat Reviews, Nathan Slay, Mr. Roy, Hardwick, Slash of Neons, Hound 3000, The New Number 2, General Wingster, Bond the Hobbit, Pat S, Will Gentry, and Mark 63366. If you try to enter in and there were technical issues, again, I apologize, but that is unfortunately just the way that sometimes the internet works. So we'll go ahead and pick some winners, and winners, you'll be able to choose. We'll do 2. You'll have 2 options of 2 of the movies, and we'll pick several, of course. So our first winner is Mr. Roy. So Mr. Roy, if you're still in the chats, good sir, claim your prize. And if you need a reminder, here are some of the movies that are available. So you got Total Recall, Mallrats, Top Gun, Going My Way, Bad Times, El Royale, Midway, Rambo, Last Blood, Sonic 1917, Speed. So Mr. Roy, let me know which 2 you would like from that set. And then once we get him confirmed, we'll be able to pick another one. What's going on, Steph?
Oh, I was just saying yay for Mr. Roy.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. As I see, Mr. Roy was over on DLive posting some fun gifs over there of me.
There he is.
All right, he says Sonic and Top Gun. They are yours. Ooh. All right, so Sonic and Top Gun are off the table. Good choices. Fantastic choices. All righty, next winner. So again, you'll get to choose 2 as well. Is Will Gentry from across the pond, and I do ship internationally, so Will Gentry, which one of the ones do you want? We still got Total Recall, Mallrats, Going My Way, Bad Times, Midway, Rambo, Last Blood, and 1917. So again, you have an option of 2. If you only want 1 because you have the others, that's fine too. But which 1 or 2 would you like, Mr. Will Gentry, if he is indeed still here. Total Recall and Speed. There he is. He knew exactly what he wanted. Alrighty. So I got that going on there. And I'm going to have to probably write down who won what, but I am at least putting them into the stacks. All right. Another winner, General Wingster. Oh, the pet troll. He won. The pet troll won. General Wingster. And there was much rejoicing. Yay. So same thing. So yeah, that's how I can remember. Yeah, winners, make sure you email me, DM me, message me, whichever way you've already contacted me if you've won anything before, just confirming your shipping address and also saying which movies are yours. That way it can help me when I'm getting all that stuff together. General Wingster just says, I hate you all. That's not very nice. That's not very nice. You won something. Or did all the films that you wanted get taken already? That is mean, General Wingster. I expected nothing less from you, though, because you are our pet troll. Sharon Ferguson, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, hail to Odin and the Valkyries. Well, thank you very much.
Oh,
I very much appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Sweet.
So anyway, General Wingster, I'm not hearing any options here, General Wingster. Going once before I have to choose somebody else. 1917 and El Royale. Sounds good. Same thing. Email me confirming addresses. And again, I know that some of y'all probably already have your address, but I always like just to make sure. All right. Next winner, we do have 4 movies left. So our next winner is 13th Warrior. 13th Warrior. Claim your prize, 13th Warrior. We've got Mallrats, Going My Way, Midway, and Rambo Last Blood. And I will have you note that 3 of the movies have their slipcovers. So for any collectors out there, slipcovers are the way to go. They are fantastic. So anyway, 13th Warrior.
Where'd he go?
Oh, there he is. Midway and Rambo. You got it, man. Midway and Rambo. I'll put those on top of the Evil Mulan over here. All right. All right, and then we got one more winner, and it is Orange Hat Reviews. So Orange Hat Reviews, you get Mallrats and Going My Way. If you already have one or the other, you can just take one, and then we can roll once more. But if you don't have either and you want both, you can have both. So again, Going My Way and Mallrats for Orange Hat Reviews. Congratulations. He's a member, Patreon member as well, longtime subscriber.
Dan Lee makes an appearance in Mallrats. It's a good one.
Yes, he does.
That his whole thing about love right there. Oh.
It's a great, and I love how he just at the end says, "Yeah, I gave him. Was it from Spider-Man? He did it."
Yeah.
Boom. He doesn't have either, so he's taken them. Perfect. Well, you got it, and that's it. That's all there is to give away. So before we end this show, Tina, anything else you want to say or share? Anything that you weren't able to say beforehand, or just anything in general? The floor is yours, birthday girl.
Oh, I feel bad for you, DC fans. I really do. I just. That's just so sad. I mean, this man, he's just like, was it the Silver Surfer or one of those characters in the comic books that just goes around destroying one planet after another? That's JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Star Trek, Star Wars, now DC. And then I even heard he's going to get his hands on Constantine. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
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 That's news to me.
Stop. So anyway, yeah, and I mean, then you hire an ist to write your Superman script.
That dude. I was listening to. I will promote a channel. Not that he needs any promotion from me, but if you are not a follower of Young Rippa 59, highly recommend Young Rippa, because he. Obviously, he does delve into politics, so if that's not your thing, one thing he is doing, though, is he's starting a channel dedicated just to the pop culture stuff, like just to the entertainment stuff, and then his main channel is going to be what it always was, which is a mixture of politics and entertainment. But he has some great segments up right now talking about this guy. His last name's Coates, I think. And if you want a good explanation as to why this guy is dangerous for the Superman character, and also criticism of what they're probably going to do with this character, Young Ripa has a fantastic take on it. And I will say, and I'm gonna shout out my Valks here, because I know they're in the process of moving over to this platform. I highly recommend that you follow him over on Odysee, the all tech platform Odysee, because it is the future. And I know that he is in the up and up with the people over there. So good things are coming soon. But yeah, support him on Odysee. I'll go ahead and I'll share the Odysee link, and then the Valks can click on the link and can create an account, and then they can follow me as well.
My click doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work? Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know how to work the internet.
Oh, really?
Hello.
Oh, really? Is that the case? Well, I just posted the link to Young Ripa's Odysee, and don't worry, we can. There's these apps now that let me control computers and click on links and help you through it. We'll do that. I'll get you signed up. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Why does he like cat? Okay, got it.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
They're planning on stripping the religion out of it.
Out of which one?
Out of Constantine.
Why?
You can't have it without it. You can't have angels and demons without some sense of religion. I mean,
that's the whole point.
I know.
Well, JJ is demonic, so I mean, I'm just so. I've never seen anybody like this. I mean, I know I sit around, I joke about him and everything, and the lens flares and all, but I mean, people, this is not normal.
Yeah.
I've never known anybody in the history of movies that wheedle their way into stuff, has never really created anything, and when he does kind of create, he leaves it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just know, but no, I feel bad for the DC fans. I mean, when I was growing up, my grandparents wouldn't let me read comic books.
Mm-hmm.
My mom wouldn't let me read them because they thought they, were evil.
Yeah.
And occasionally a neighbor kid would let me read one, and I liked Superman. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the one I grew up on. So I hate to see this. So
yeah.
Now I can't think I understand why Walter Hamada in that interview he did said, "Oh no, the Timeverse is like a cul-de-sac." Well, that's probably why, because they knew already that JJ was waiting in the wings, and they're paying him $500 million.
Yeah, Andrew Hoyle says that JJ loves to put the severed heads of the franchises he's destroyed in his trophy case. Yeah, and I think that's fact. And Hardwick, as JJ's doing HBO Max Constantine show, which will not only rip out religious themes, but also will apparently race swap him as well. And this is separate from, there's also apparently a Keanu Reeves Constantine movie as well. It's separate. Yeah. So that's good, at least.
Okay.
Yes.
But still.
So just, if you don't have HBO Max already, then there's no, or just get HBO Max so you can watch the Snyder Cut, because Snyder Cut's coming up, everybody. Woo, it's right around the corner.
I still need a password.
Tina will take care of you. Tina will take care of you. Once it actually comes out, we'll take care of you. Don't worry. Allegedly, you'll be taken care of. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
Allegedly.
Stephanie will need it too.
Allegedly, yes. And she'll be taken care of as well, allegedly.
Oh.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. I can neither confirm nor deny. My lawyers are telling me to say this. The number 2 also says, "Happy birthday to Tina. Happy birthday to you." So happy birthday from new number 2. You. As Sharon Ferguson just drops it in, it says, "That's what I said. It's the whole point. JJ has no soul." As Father comes in dropping the facts. So do we need to spray him with holy water? Yes, Father.
Yes.
Yes, we do. And Thirsty the Warrior says JJ just wants us all to be less white. by ignoring his own whiteness, of course. Rosie T12 then says, the left wants to destroy our culture by erasing it. That's why they establish works and destroy them with remakes. Yeah, and talking about Young Rippa, he talks about this all the time, right? This is tokenism, right? And instead of it actually creating a new character, creating someone who is of a certain race, who is of a certain gender, who is of a certain whatever, they have to tokenize these characters, right? They have to say, oh no, but we want to have Black Superman, or we want to have this or that. And it's like, no, make something new, right? Create something new. But as we all know, they can't create. They can only destroy.
Yeah.
They can only destroy. And that is going to be it. And again, if I didn't get to your comments tonight, everybody, or questions, I apologize. But tonight was all about the birthday girl, Tina. And of course, it's been great to have her on and to have the love and support of Steph, both of my Valkyries. They're both amazing and fantastic. So now you can have some voices to the chat names that you always see in the chat. And they are the rock, the glue that holds the channel together. And I always appreciate everything that they do. And it's always great to be able to celebrate these. And now I know exactly what we'll be doing for Steph's birthday in the future as well. And then it'll be all about
I can't. I couldn't talk for that.
You do just fine, though. Well, here's what it is. All I'll do, I know how to get you to talk. All I'll be like is, yeah, Texas is overrated.
What?
Boom.
Them fighting words.
Yes, it is.
Whip your behind,
That's
boy.
true.
I'm gonna whip you.
I have a T-shirt. I have a T-shirt that says "introverted but willing to talk about Texas."
I feel like that is the introverted Texan, right? Is like, I'm introverted, but as soon as you mention Texas, I will talk
Like what?
as much as you need. And that, as we say, that Angry Mango coming at the end with the $5 super chat saying, happy birthday, Tina. Wishing you endless days filled with happiness and joy.
Oh.
Thank you.
Did y'all see what General Winkster just said?
Oh, what he?
I'm offended. For your birthday, we'll celebrate the life and times of Will Smith. Are you kidding?
It's your favorite person, right? In fact, hey, how about we'll have a Will Smith marathon on your birthday?
That's just mean.
That is mean. That's cruel.
Well, we'll start off with some Wild Wild West, right? And then
that stupid spider.
I haven't seen one of his movies ever.
Oh, you have to see Wild Wild West just for how bad it is. Just for how bad it is.
And what's his name? Got his stupid spider that I think he wanted in a.
Oh yeah, the smoke.
In a Superman movie or a Batman
Something
movie?
It definitely looks like it comes from it. That's for sure. Also, Sharon Ferguson says she wants that shirt you have with "I'm an introvert, but ask me about Texas." And
Sharon,
yeah,
it's texashumor.com.
Boom.
And it's got a bunch of cool like t-shirts, and it's all local. They're in San Antonio, and they've got really cool Texas swag, like really good stuff. So
there you go. There you go. So Texas Humor, you said?
Yes.
Nice. TexasHumor.com. Go check it out. And let's see. Sharon says, I always say, don't get me started on Texas history. I will never shut up. Alex McCarthy once again proves that he has terrible taste in movies by saying, I like Wild Wild West. Now, I like it too in the fact that it's bad. It's so bad that it's funny, but I have a feeling that you actually enjoy it. And then Father says, Odin seen Wild Wild West, but never seen Phil in the movie. This is a fact. Don't think too deeply on it because it'll make you mad in the end. But anyway, thank you all very much for being here this evening. This has been a ton of fun. Let me go ahead and just upload and update this real quick. Speaking of update, I need to update. There's so many things I forgot to do. Anyway, let's update this real quick. The members that I need to shout out: MTAC Shark, Forever Sci-Fi, FCC 2014, Rosie G12, Andrew Hoyle, Eric K, Orange Chat Reviews, Adam Avery, The Bosco 2000, Twirly Wolf, Jay Stowe, and Aiden Vickery. Thank y'all very much for being my Army of Asgard members and above on YouTube. Y'all are freaking fantastic. Much love to the DLive fam. I know it's been nice and quiet over there tonight. because of the subscriber only chat, but obviously it's because I didn't want to have any trolls coming in to have any distractions for what's going on here. And I do want to give a shout out to, since I have not updated the Patreon video yet, but I do have it. I just haven't put it into OBS yet. Priscilla Hall, who is one of my newer Patreon members. Shout out to you. But hey, Steph, any last anything else you want to say? Any last minute monologues or speeches or?
No.
You sure?
Really, just be kind and kind of be careful with your energy. Guard it, because we're in this. There's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Father knows what I speak of, and you do too. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
So just don't make any big decisions for a while. Just be careful, and yes, that's about it.
Okay.
Man, I stink at this.
No, that was great.
So bad.
That was great. I will say the one thing that could have made it better was if you were able to tie in. So party on, dudes.
Oh, I could have said that.
Yes.
Dang it.
Well, now for next
Sorry.
time. Now for next time, you'll have a tagline and you'll know what to say. So. And Father agrees. He knows exactly what you're talking about. So.
Okay.
Yes. And Tina, the birthday girl, Tina, any last minute thing you want to say or shout outs that maybe you forgot or anything like that?
Just thank you, Steph, for I know she was having some tech issues, and I was like, no, you're going to be on tonight. You better be on. So I thank you. And no, don't hang up when this goes off. We'll say bye to Odin.
Yes.
Bye.
And then Steph will sign into one of her 8 Discord accounts and
leave me alone.
And thanks to my very dear friend Sharon for showing up tonight. Yes. She was hoping she'd be able to make it. So thank you, Sharon. And thank you, Odin.
Oh. No, thank you, seriously, because as I said, you and Steph are the lifeblood of this channel.
Oh.
So
this show would be off the rails if I did not have you.
One night both of us are going to be on vacation or something.
Oh, and it's going to be it happened. Remember, it happened once and I was freaking out because I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And so luckily Laura was able to step up.
Yay.
It was Laura and Alex. But even then I was still freaking out because I'm just like, no, Steph and Tina, I need y'all here. But anyway, I hope it's been a wonderful birthday for you, Tina.
Yay.
And
this has been a fun way to spend it. Thank you all so much.
Absolutely. Thank y'all both for coming on. It's been tons of fun, and I don't do this enough. We do the chosen streams, but I don't have enough. I don't feel like I ever have guests on, and I feel like it typically works that way because I'm able to, focus more on the community and the stream and everything. But it's nice to have this, every now and then. As Laura just comes in and says, "Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I got it." But anyway, this is great, and seriously, I really do hope you have a wonderful rest of your birthday, Tina. And again, as I said, you'll have a package of stuff, of things coming your way, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we go off the air for a second. So anyway, thank you all for being here, everybody. Please make sure you tip your Valkyries on the way out, because not only are they in the chat, they're right here, right now. So send them your love. And, of course, follow me over on Minds.com and Odysee. And pretty soon in the future, you'll be able to find Steph and Tina on those platforms as well.
Odysee, that's ODDSUHC, I think.
Yes. All those letters combined. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. People who won tonight in the giveaways. Make sure you email me, and I'll check that later tonight. Try and get all that stuff taken care of. Hopefully shipped out either tomorrow or Monday or sometime this week. And yeah, you guys are great. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members: Albertus Magnus, Ali C83, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, The Honker Chonker Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jay, Jeff Toon, Jonathan Carney, Laura Story, the Modern Major General, Mag Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, on to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Unnen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and Tina B., the Empress of the Universe. Thank you so very much for being my Patreon members. And a huge shout out also to my Subscribe Star members, Stan 4, John B., Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J. Rod the Beer Guru, Nebadon G. Adams, and the K-Man. Thank you all very much for being my Subscribe Star members, and to all people who support the channel. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support the channel and have your name shouted out, please make sure that you join on Patreon or Subscribe Star today. If you sign up at the $5 or up level, you also get access to exclusive giveaways, including for 4K and Blu-ray titles. At the $10 level, you get all of that, plus you get access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger. There's actually currently an episode that I made public on the channel right now, so you can go ahead and check that out. If you want to have more access to even more episodes and more content and the ability to ask us questions, please feel free to check that out as well. And if you join at the $25 level and up, the Chosen of Valhalla level, you get to have all of those things, plus you get a free t-shirt that first month that you sign up for it, and every month you will be able to access the Chosen of Valhalla live stream, where me and my Chosen just talk for about 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours about whatever it is that they want to talk about. So check all of that out in the links in the description below. You are all amazing and beautiful people. We all have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.